now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, Puckle Podcast.
It's Puckle! Puckle! It's Puckle! Puckle! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! Puckle! Puckle.
And welcome to the 556th episode of the Poké Podcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my wonderful co-host. We've got the one and only man escaped from SeaWorld, Dr. Shamu.
Hello.
In search of the Titan, I'm sure.
Yes. My long-lost relative.
And of course, we've got our good old buddy, Mark. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Go-Goat enthusiast extraordinaire.
And welcome to the Poké Podcast. Puckle, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything Pokemon, from the video game to the trading card game to everything in between. And boy, has it been a week. I recovered from almost dying last week.
Well, we're glad you're alive.
Yeah, well, it was bad. Like, I usually don't. I think that was the first time in...
That's a long time, at least.
Since I can remember that I was just like, I'm too sick to do the podcast, which is...
Yeah, I think it's been a long time since you've been that sick, at least that I've been aware of.
Well, I've been sick before, but it's always during the week and not on the weekend.
Yeah.
Conveniently.
Yeah. So, like, thankfully, I want everybody to know it wasn't COVID or anything. It was just, like, a really bad sinus infection. I have this thing. I really need to go to a doctor. Where I have this thing where if the weather changes drastically, my sinuses get completely screwed up. And this year, it's been awful for it. I mean, this is like the fourth time that like I've had a really bad reaction to it, and they just like keep getting progressively worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I really need to go see a doctor about it. But so it wasn't COVID, thankfully. So I got over it like within a day. But like I did sleep the entire day that we typically record.
Oh, wow. Well, at least you got the rest.
Yeah, I got the rest and I was done. I mean, I put the show together still. Like I was the one that packaged it last week and everything. So it wasn't like that was out of the count, but it was definitely a time. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, what about you guys? Well, I mean, I've played Pokemon too in the meantime, but I went to League and I did pretty well. I was actually really impressed with myself. I went to League because like I can see myself getting better, which is kind of cool. Because like the first time I went like 1 and 3, and I just remember finding all of my misplays as I was playing. I was just like, wow, okay, that sucks. And then the next week I went like 2 and 2, and I was just like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. I made a couple misplays here and there. I was also playing like a suboptimal variant of the deck I like. And then this week I went 2 and 2, but I feel good about it because the 2 games that I lost were because I bricked and not because of any play that I made. Other than maybe not like riffle shuffling enough or something. But yeah. It was, I mean, I feel good about that. But yeah, let's talk about you guys. What have you guys been up to? It's been a while since both of you been on.
I really haven't been doing anything, to be honest.
No Pokemon.
Playing a bit of Unite, that's about it.
You played Unite. Yeah, don't lie to me.
A little, it's about it. It's like I played a bit of Unite now, with Buzzwole coming out, which is a menace.
Yeah, Buzzwole bothers me.
Buzzwole's a menace.
Buzzwole, I don't like. I don't know. I feel like it's too good right now, but that's just what happens in Unite.
It's always what happens. It is dealable. It is one of those things where it is. It's very rough when it can literally just click a move and take out half your health.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
And if it's not doing the stronger move, it's doing the other one that, like the weaker one, which gives you health regen, like Leech Life.
Yep.
Like just, you're a little less damage, but you're healing like half your health back in turn. And it's like, it's
nasty.
It's definitely like, it's one of those things I've definitely dealt with enough of them where it's like, okay, cool. Like a 2v1, it's like, yeah, that good, but not really, but it's dealable.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I've learned Azu is stupid busted.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, I've been having fun with Unite. I've jumped back in with the 1 year anniversary and I don't regret it.
Mm-hmm.
They also help by like you can still grind for the medals and like that's just like an infinite grind loop essentially.
The medals is the only thing that's really kind of keeping me kind of like farming those, trying to get as many of those as possible.
I think that's the point, right?
To a degree, yeah.
To make it so that you just farm them. The problem's going to be when all the anniversary stuff's over and you lose like all the extra energy pods.
Yeah.
And it just slows down to a halt.
A halt, yeah.
Yeah. Because you can only get like 10 pools a week then essentially, which is nonsense.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, they're giving energy tanks away too, actually.
Yeah, for right now. I mean, like when that's all done.
Well, no, there's a whole. They just started a new login thing for like 13 days. If you log in,
Yes.
every 2 days, you get a refill energy tank that you don't have to use immediately. So you're gonna get like with everything, you get like 10k energy.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
So you have it for a while, but yeah.
Yeah, they're doing it to just keep you there, so you makes a habit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. What about you, Mark? What have you been up to?
Oh man, honestly, not a lot with the games. The only thing of note is my daughter has discovered what Pikachu is.
Oh, does she know? Can she say it? Can she say it now?
No, not yet. But she definitely
first word.
She recognizes Pikachu and she likes Pikachu. So that's probably the beginning, which is funny. I don't know if it's like this for a lot of Pokemon fans. I just don't care for Pikachu at all. Like I don't really think about it ever.
I don't have like feelings for Pikachu. Pikachu just is.
Yeah, it's
right?
It's the mascot. It's been there forever, but like
it's gonna be there. And like it was cute when it was first out. Like I like Gens 1 and 2. Pikachu's okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
but then now it's just I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like Charizard because it is just the series mascot, right?
Yeah, it's the mascot. I mean, it's fine.
Pikachu has a job, unlike Charizard. Charizard just gets praise.
Right.
Pikachu's a working man.
Oh, I did find online the manga. For Pokemon.
Oh, it's
so
good.
I read the first few.
It's definitely good.
Yeah.
Would recommend.
I'm up to yellow, and so I kind of took a break from it. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Did you like the first 7? Like, did you finish yellow?
Not yet. I just started yellow.
Okay, yeah. I would say, I mean, up to the end of, I think it's Leaf Green, Fire Red. Emerald. To the end of Emerald. It's really good.
Okay, so that's the cutoff. Then I don't want to go further than that.
Yeah, it's. After that, so what happened was they, so like it's all connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up through Emerald, and then they decided Diamond and Pearl, like, how about it's not really connected anymore, though? Because like at the end of Emerald, like, oh my gosh, it's just like one big, I don't know, it's like the Avengers.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Avengers, and it's really cool.
One big overarching story, and then they just kind of say, we're just going to do each separate stories now with these new ones. And it's I kind of get why, in a way. You know, it's hard to do something super overarching, too, and you want to do different things. And
I understand why.
So, like, I wasn't expecting it to be the way it is.
It's so much different than the Pokemon story that you're used to.
Yeah, and which is great, but at the same time, it's like, and I've seen the infamous, like, Arbok picture before, right? Yeah. But I didn't realize like that kind of is how it all is in a way.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
It's very much a reimagining in a way, like it's kind of like
it's not even a reimagining.
It's not exactly, but it's kind of in the concept of like if you were to look at it now, that's how I would feel it as. Like it's a different take on it, but it's also in a way like imagine if it was different and all like it shows it in a different light too. It's not like what you would expect it to be, but it's also kind of just it is and isn't. Yeah, it is brutal though.
So actually, about the manga, there was an interview that they did where they asked Satoshi Tajiri what he thought about the manga story, like very early on in Pokemon, and he says that's probably the most accurate representation of what I think the Pokemon world is like is the manga.
Oh, cool! I like that.
So yeah, so I was just like, oh, okay. So I think the manga. I mean, it's a really good story, and I would really, if they could just adapt that to an anime, like okay. I have a few opinions about a lot of things. Like Pokemon should just adapt the manga to an anime first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would just like if you had the children's cartoon that we can keep with Ash and everything, but then we just start the spin-off anime where you do this. I think it would just go wild.
Yeah, it'd be a very different tone. You need to separate them very much.
I think the problem is Game Freak and most Japanese companies get very focused on their Japanese audience, and I'm sure most of the Japanese audience has read the manga compared to the US audience, because manga's part of the culture there, right? So I'm sure they're just like, well, it's not worthwhile because everybody's already read the manga, and it's very old at this point.
Right.
But I think it would be worthwhile to do it. I would really love to see that. Additionally, Power Rangers should just adapt the comic book, but that's a different story for another day. Yeah, there's like so many good stories out there that are like in comic book graphic novel medium. Because it's an awesome medium, and the people who are usually doing it are people who are just like, yeah, this would be awesome. Like they're essentially storyboarding, right?
Right.
So like it would just be very cool to see a lot of that come to life. A lot of that come to life. But yeah, I love the manga. I have the first like 14 volumes physically.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I really do enjoy it. I think it's a very good story, and everybody should take a gander.
think I did too. I don't think I've opened the Gen 2 or Gen 3 ones. I know I have a bunch of the box sets.
I don't have the Gen 3 one yet.
I think I have like 3 box sets. I think that's what it goes up to. It's through Gen 3.
I believe so. I think I don't remember if the Gen 3 one got split into 2 or not, because with they had Fire Red and Leaf Green in there as well. But yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, okay. So this was a good start. Yeah, I like this. We're gonna go ahead and let's go kick it on over to the news. Let's cue that epic music.
Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
And welcome to the news. In the news, we've got as many things as we can without touching on that trailer this week, because we want to talk about that for a half hour, I'm sure. So first of all, Japan is getting codes for Ash's teams over the course of the next few weeks. It's actually the end of like the finale to the arc, where Ash is going to go fight Leon and everything.
Masters Tournament or whatever.
Yeah, which are all 6v6 battles from here on out, which is kind of cool. It's been a very long time since we've had that in Pokemon. Because even when you went to the Alola League, I don't think any of those battles were 6v6.
No, they were all like 3v3, I believe. They've done 3v3 for so long just because I think it's just for time constraint, but having a 6v6 is kind of cool.
6v6,
getting, like,
I miss it.
2-part episodes generally, unless it's like a stomp for some reason, which I don't think they'll do.
I miss having those. Like, some of my favorite memories of watching the Pokemon anime are
the old end of the tournament where it's like 6v6 it's like a 3-part episode because
it's a 3-part episode. I miss it because that was like your weekend, because like that they would put all 3 on the same day, like on your Saturday morning. I don't know. Like, I'm very nostalgic for Saturday morning cartoons, which I know are dead, but I'm very, very nostalgic. Like streaming, like that's the one thing I'm sad streaming killed, was Saturday morning cartoons.
I mean, you can just do it anyways.
I mean, you could. Like, I hate commercials and ads on YouTube videos, right? You know, I run ad blocker and everything, but like, there's just something magical about being sold a sugary cereal in between, like in the middle of the show. I don't know. Like, I like commercial breaks sometimes in the context of like, well, at least it's a break to get up from the TV, right? For a couple seconds. Yeah, I don't know. I always enjoyed that. I don't know. I miss it. I miss it. This is definitely like a nostalgic time. Maybe I just miss being a kid, but
yeah, maybe that's what it really is.
Maybe that's it.
I don't.
But yeah, they're giving away Ash's team. I'm here for it. Ash's team is really cool this time around too.
It is actually. It's one of the like few really cool teams.
No, I really like it in that this is like the first time he hasn't had a starter from a region, right? So it feels really good. It feels really good to not do that and like pass it off onto Go before Go gets written off. The anime right now, like, I mean, he gets to go see Chuck again, and Chuck remembers their battle.
Yeah, there was that whole thing where he goes back and fights Lieutenant Surge's replacement or whatever.
Yeah, and they talk about his battle. Yeah, no, it's been very good at like giving nods to past to past generations of the anime, which I really enjoy.
Don't actually like forget stuff, because that's what it always feels like. They just forget that they existed before.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Well, he sends off all of his Mons each gen back to Professor Oak, and you just never see them again.
Exactly.
So it's like there's no continuity between gens usually.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's enough about the anime. Let's talk about Sword and Shield, and you tell us about how awful it is, Mark.
Well, Series 13 rules have been revealed for September and October. They are getting rid of their restrictions on Legends and also adding in the Mythicals. So,
which is exciting.
Collectors rejoice. I mean,
this is the first time that Mythicals have been allowed in BGC, which is very exciting.
Ever?
Yes.
Really? Huh.
Yes, it's because they've always been given out by event, and some of them still are, but most of them have been demythicalized at this point.
So I could use Zarude if I really wanted to.
Yeah, you could use Zarude. You could use Magearna. I mean, the only ones you can't use Deontay because it's not in Swish, or Volcanion, or Volcanion. But
I was gonna say, is Deontay's really not in Swish?
No.
Huh. No. For some reason, I thought it was.
Yeah, it's like the list of Pokemon they left out. It feels very odd to me, but that's a completely different conversation.
Yeah,
like some of the Pokemon that aren't in Swish should be in Swish. And then if we also, so I mean that's very exciting. I can't wait for Zasha and Magearna cores to be real. And,
God.
Yeah, Zasha and Magearna, because Magearna in doubles is actually really scary. Because Soul Heart, I believe, works on the partner.
It triggers off of like everything.
Yeah. So
it's really dumb.
Yeah, it gets stupid,
especially with Dynamax too.
Yeah, Magearna is going to be stupid.
It is.
Magearna is going to be bad. But we'll see. We'll see. Victini's allowed, so that's cute. But yeah, talk about Unite
stuff too. But with Unite stuff, we got Buzzwole a couple days ago from this. I believe we get Cheetar in about a week. It's like the 14th or 16th.
Is it really that soon? Is it really that soon?
It's really like they were literally 3 Pokemon in like a week. I think Cheetar like the 15th or 16th.
It must be the 17th. It's probably the 17th because that's the Wednesday.
It'll be like the 17th day, but it'll be like the 16th at night because it updates at like 8
yeah,
o'clock.
But the official date.
EST.
Yeah, but the official date is the 17th, and that's just the 17th GMT. That's the only difference.
But those are coming out and Buzzwole's out. The Pika Party event where everyone gets to play as Pikachu that went live with the presents.
Have you played it? I haven't played it.
No, I don't care.
I might try
it's cute, but I don't give.
I might try it.
I don't give jack about Pikachu. So I'll probably play 20 games at some point because it's a mission to play 20 games of it. But like that's about all.
Yeah.
They just replaced stuff with like the Zapdos, the Gigantamax Pikachu, which is cute. The little surfing Pikachus. It's cute. I don't care enough to really like.
It's cute.
Get too much over it. It seems everyone running around with Pikachu is whatever.
It's gonna be cute.
But yeah, that's all that for Unite. But for TCG stuff, we got a few things. So we have the name for the English set in November, which is Silver Tempest, which is gonna be with like Lugia.
Wait, that doesn't come out in September, right? That's in Japan in September.
It's just November. I meant November. If I said September.
Yeah. It should be November in the US. That makes sense to me.
It's November. No, our September set is Lost Origin. The Gear
I was gonna say
but November. We finally have the name being Silver Tempest. A couple other things too that I don't know if this got mentioned before, but they're reprinting some like the V-Star that are actually like kind of meta, or at least planning to, because we got the Palkia V-Star collection announced with like the Alga, and then also
I do remember that.
They just announced the Zoroark one, which is going to be good in the future.
The Zoroark V and V-Star are good. Yeah.
And it's like, they might not help prices, but it's kind of cool that they're making things more available in a way.
Yeah, well, they're being really good, because not only that, Giratina's already going to be in a tin.
Yeah, exactly. It's surprising to see these good cards that we know are going to see play that are just being essentially reprinted. Like, we are aware of reprints happening already, and even though they're the high-end product, there's also an Arceus one that might do something. Who knows? Probably won't put prices down at all for that, but it's kind of cool to know that, like, they're making these products for meta cards. And then, I know just to also clear up, the only other thing I can think of here with TCG is that the good old McDonald's card that everyone loves. Yay! They're not doing what they did like last year with every 25 cards, all foil, all not. It's just a 15 card set like normal type of thing. It's just, there are 6 foils, 9 non-foils, that's it.
Good. Boom. That way we don't have any more nonsense where people are buying 100 Happy Meals.
Yeah, that was a really bad call on their choice, making essentially a 50 card set.
Yeah, because
that was like also had chase cards in it too, in a sense. It's like,
I know
that was real. Like, I get why they did it. Yeah, like anniversary. Let's do all the starters. I think that's cute, but they did not realize how bad that was going to be.
Well, especially at the time, because
we also had like mid-COVID and people were scalping,
you had issues with supply chains and everything for that.
Like, it was a bunch of issues all at once.
The only reason you can still find product at stores is because they've immensely ramped up supply.
Oh, they have.
That's why Pokemon Bulk is crashing real hard in terms of value. No, I mean, because you used to be able to get something
surprise.
Well, you used to be able to get something like 3 cents per card.
That's already after a crash. They used to be more than that. I remember when Bulk was actually worth money, and now it's just no.
Now it's worth like maybe a penny, and it's really bad because well, it's not bad. It's good because you can go get product and you can actually go get good cards now, but.
It's good for that, but yeah, the bulk aspect. So now you're just gonna have these cards sitting around if you don't have uses for them.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to save enough of them because some of them still let you trade it in for like a booster box.
Found a reverse foil that worth stuff though.
Yeah, reverse foils are still worth something, and so are hollows. So like, you got that going for you, I guess.
I found a listing or like an advertisement like, oh yeah, if you have like like they usually go by 1,000 for price points. Usually like 1,000 of it is worth whatever. Yeah, like 1,000 reverse foils is like $60. I'm like, oh, that's surprisingly decent.
That's not too bad.
Like. Yeah, compared to like normal, like just bulk commons being like 10 for 1,000, which is
I'll take it.
But that's all for TCG that I think that's there.
Yep.
That I can even think of too.
I mean, it's slowish until we get Lost Origins very soon.
Yeah. We got a lot of product coming out back to back, like later in the year. It's gonna be very packed.
This fall's gonna be great. Mark, go ahead. Let us talk about Pokemon Go. Oh, this is perfect for you.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. The Bug Out event starts on Wednesday and runs for a week. It adds Grubbin, Shiny Venipede, and Mega Scizor to the game. Each day the event has a different bug that will infest a gym for if 3 or more in-person players beat it in a raid. And the 13th is Venipede. So, yeah.
Wow.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go, doing Pokemon Go things.
Yep.
I'm actually really happy that it's just like one thing we had to read this week. I'm really okay with that. Let's keep that up, guys. All right, so Puckle's Poke Prediction. Now that we finally received an overview trailer, how often do you expect to see new trailers going forward?
I don't expect anything until release at this point. Or like the week of release.
I expect us to get like one thing during Worlds. Like just one. And then I expect one more trailer, and I expect something in October. Like at the end of October, though.
See, I would like to hope that, but we didn't get anything for like an extra couple months, so I don't have any hope for them with trailers.
Okay, so if you remember, though, like the BDSP cycle, which is very similar in time frame to what we have now for Scarlet and Violet, so I'm going to go off that. They did nothing between February when they announced BDSP and August, outside of like maybe something small saying like, yes, the game is coming in June.
Mm-hmm.
And they so like this is exactly on track with what they did with BDSP. And then right after they did like the August bump and for BDSP, it was just kind of like once every few weeks we had something small and new, which I could see happening here. By I put new in, I'm going to put new in quotes for BDSP because it was like, oh, they confirmed that this is in fact a Diamond and Pearl remake, and that's about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm thinking like maybe a couple weeks before release, they'll give us some level of info dump. I don't know what.
All right. Well, this is a good place to stop, and we're going to kick it on over to Puckle's Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Hello and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz your co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Professor Snag with the rules. The co-hosts are working together as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that you, the listeners, have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The hosts can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct without using the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
And welcome to our Poke Quiz. Thank you for that introduction. Our first question today is going to come to you from Right on Rocks, and he's going to test your knowledge about Pokemon professors.
Oh.
What is Professor Sycamore's first name?
Sycamore? Oh.
I like this. I only remember this because, like, back when we started the show, we had Professor Sycamore write that on our show. Early on, and he had a first name. He used to call himself Aloysius Sycamore, and the name is actually very close to it. So I always got a kick out of it.
Aloysius.
Not that close. Not that close, other than it starts with the same letter, but
oh, okay. Free hint.
Yeah. Whoa. Did I do that on purpose? I don't know.
I wouldn't expect anyone to know Sycamore's name, so I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
He's a doctor of the Catholic Church. Doctor of the Catholic Church.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Close.
I think I know religion.
Augustine?
Oh, it is Augustine, I think.
Is it?
His name is Augustine. Is correct. Augustine is correct. I used that he's a doctor of the Catholic Church. There we go. That is correct. He is Augustine Sycamore, not Aloysius.
Hearing it was just like, that's it. I think there was like a single line in the game where they say that or something like that. There's like one line, and it's like, cool. You caught it. You didn't.
Yeah, I think he and I think there's a couple others that have first names. Not most of them don't have first names. Professor Oak does. I don't think Professor Elm has a first name. But yeah, not all of them have first names. All right, we are going to go ahead and get this next question from Trev. In honor of Thatch's Ultra Moon Nuzlocke, what does the ability Stakeout do?
If you go second, you do increased damage. I don't know how much it is by offhand, but essentially it's like or if they switch, I think. No, it's like I'm getting it slightly wrong. I believe it's like pursuit on an ability, essentially. If they switch, the Pokemon coming in will take more damage from your attacks. I believe that's how it works.
Is that your final answer?
It's something like that. I might be getting like one word wrong, or one part of it, but it's essentially like that. I think like a 1.5 boost too.
That's correct. It's not 1.5, it's double, actually.
It is double?
Double.
It was 1.5 or double.
I would have just taken a power increase. That's fine. Stakeout doubles the power of moves used against targets that have switched in that turn.
Yeah,
which is something that I forgot
I feel
when I was trying to
confused with PTU with you acting later, but like like switching in is
that's
it's
when
like
I
pursuit
lost
on ability essentially.
I lost my Nuzlocke because I forgot about that. So
yeah, keeps hacking stuff to
yeah. Well, that Ilma battle. No, not to the gumshoes. To Ilma. The Ilma battle's pretty nasty. Yeah, that Ilma battle's pretty nasty if you level cap and then you get really bad pulls for Pokemon. It's actually pretty nasty because like there's really no way to like handle the normal stab if you don't get Magnemite, really, and a lot of your stuff doesn't get strong enough to do anything. And then on top of that, the Smeargle's doing super effective for what should be your ace, which is your starter. So it's pretty nasty.
Rockruff might be able to resist a bit too, at least.
You can't get Rockruff. You can't get Rockruff.
You can't get Rockruff by that point?
Nope.
Okay. I don't know if you could or couldn't.
Nope. Magnemite's the only one that will be able to resist that you can get by that point. Slowpoke works though too. Okay.
Yeah, defensive, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this next one is going to come to you from, this is your Pokedex entry, by the way. And we're going to get you this one from Gray the Gray. Its Ultra Sun Pokedex entry reads, although they enjoy comparing their strength, they're also kind. They value etiquette, praising opponents they battle. Who's that Pokemon?
Can you say that one more time?
Although they enjoy comparing their strength, they are also kind. They value etiquette, praising opponents they battle.
And this is Ultra Sun.
Great ways to test their strength.
And they're praising their opponents.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
This is
maybe a fighting type.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know what.
This is definitely a Mark. This is definitely a Mark question. That's why I picked it.
Definitely Mark question. Okay.
Is it a Heracross? Is that what it sounds like?
No. There's a Mark has a certain hobby, has a certain thing he likes to watch.
Were you talking about Sumo? Yeah, it must be Hariyama then if that's the hint.
I'm trying to think of any like. I don't think there's any other like sumo-esque Pokemon.
No, not really. Not explicitly, anyways. So, I mean, yeah, it's first guess. Let's go with Hariyama.
Yeah. Hariyama is correct.
Okay.
The second entry is going to be from Diamond and Pearl. It loves to match power with big-bodied Pokemon. It can knock a truck flying with its arm thrust.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, arm thrust would have probably gotten it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are 4 for 3, so your next question's only going to be worth 2 points. And this one, you just read the manga. I can ask this manga question. This is going to be from Munchy Void. Oh wait, no, you didn't read any of these. Never mind. It's actually going to be from Elite Four Brant. There are 6 answers here. For every 2 Pokemon you give me, you get a point, up to 2 points. So I really only need 4. There are 6 Pokemon tied for the shortest Pokemon at 4 inches or 0.1 meters tall. What are these Pokemon? I only need 4. For
Joltik, I think.
You have to lock them in. You get 2 strikes.
Oh,
is that right, Shamu?
I think Joltik's one of the small ones. I am trying to remember a bunch of these.
Klefki? Is Klefki that small?
I don't know if it is.
You do still have the hint.
Flabebe is one of them.
You need to lock them in. You need to lock them in.
Flabebe and Joltik we can go with to start.
Those are both correct. Those are both correct. Yeah. That's 2. There are 4 more. I only need 2 more.
Wasn't
they're the smallest.
You do still have the hint as well, unless you're trying to go for all 8.
Well, hold on. I'm trying to think. Shaman isn't that small.
No, Shaman's not that small.
Shaman is like 8 inches or something.
The biggest issue is I think of a Pokemon that might be small, but it's like, yeah, no, it's actually like 4 foot tall. It's like, well, I thought there was 2 that were in the evolution line too. That I thought it was Floette, but I don't think it's Floette because I think Floette's way bigger, and I think I might be thinking something differently entirely in that size.
What about Cutie Fly?
Cutie Fly. Cutie Fly sounds
Yeah, let's
right.
lock that one in.
Cutie Fly is correct.
Okay, it's one of the.
That's
I
3.
feel like if it's not Klefki, it's one of those object mons, but I don't remember which one.
We can go Klefki. I don't know. We've got a couple shots.
Yeah, we can try Klefki.
Klefki is incorrect.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
That's whatever. Head 2 strike is fine.
Oh, wait a minute. What about Cosmoem? Isn't that thing really small and like dense? Is that 4 inches though?
Cosmog or
No, Cosmoem.
Is Cosmoem that small?
Because Cosmoem, I think, gets smaller and it gets like super dense.
It is super dense for sure.
Yeah,
I'll say Cosmoem. Why not?
Cosmoem is correct. That gives you guys 2 points here. The other 2 that you didn't get were Comfey and Sinistea.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Object mons, yeah.
Yeah, but you guys are doing very well. You've only got 1 question left. You guys are 6 for 4, whatever it is. You haven't used the hint yet, though you've gotten some free ones. But we're gonna go ahead and give you this next question. This is gonna come to you from Zachary. What ice-type Pokemon has the lowest base attack?
It's very on character here.
On brand, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Has the lowest base attack.
Trying to think of Smoocher might be it.
You think so?
Trying to think of any other ice type.
I was gonna say Vulpix probably has a pretty low attack. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what Cryogonals is either, but I think it's probably got high. I think I might be thinking defense super low on that for sure.
Cryogonal.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Vulpix probably has we can use a hint. Why not? Let's give us a hint.
Yeah.
This Pokemon is a dual type.
Okay.
And he is very small.
Very small. Is it Snom?
Snom. Yeah, it's probably Snom.
Yeah, it must be Snom. Yeah. You just go with that?
Snom.
Yeah.
Snom is correct with a base stat of 25 in attack. You guys have named pretty much everything else on the list. Smoochum is next in line with 30. Spheal is next with 40.
Ooh, Spheal.
And then Alolan Vulpix is next on that with 41.
Yeah,
41.
I like listing these off as if people are going to use this information for literally anything.
Anything, yeah.
But
not even in Little Cup.
This doesn't help you anywhere because you're learning which ones are bad.
Yeah.
Just like
don't use these.
Yeah, these are only. By the way, Spheal's attack stats only half that of a Talonflame. So, all right, moving on. That gives you guys 7 points today, though. So that's really good for you. I don't know what the trivia scoreboard looks like, but we will find out here momentarily. It is going to change up a little bit, but not much. As people are running away with it, mostly Sigma. All right. In first place, we've got Sigma with 21 points. In second, we've got Seth with 17. In third, we have a tie between Sublime and Linian with 15. Fifth, we've got Shark with 13. Tied for sixth, we've got Whimsicott and Mark with 12. In eighth, we've got Shamu with 7. And in ninth, we've got Claude with 6. And in 10th, we've got Yushiro with 4. Woo. I mean, to be fair, it is still anybody's game. So... it is still anybody's game. Next round's going to be up to 40 points. So yeah, next round's going to be up to 40 points because we're going to make the ladder not reset nearly as often if people just pile on. But yeah, all right. If you want more,
something that happens sometimes.
Yeah, if you want more Puckle's Poke Quiz, you can listen to us next week on the podcast. So please do. Until then, we're going to kick it on over to the topic.
And this week's iTunes review comes to us from Poké Steve. I look forward to this show every week. The rotating co-hosts is my favorite thing about the show. Each person brings a different flavor and perspective. Not to mention, great personalities. You can tell all of these guys are 100% Pokemon fans and truly love making these episodes for us to enjoy. Thanks, and keep up the good work. Thank you, Poké Steve. And if you'd like your review read out on this segment, feel free to leave us a review on iTunes or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. It really helps people find us. And now, on to our topic.
And welcome to the topic. Our topic today is obviously going to be the new trailer that dropped this week for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There's so much that happened in that. Like, there's actually a lot. I was pretty impressed with the amount of information they were willing to give us. It might not have been a lot of Pokemon, but it was very packed. It was very dense.
Yeah, there's definitely like something that was like a minute, and it's like, okay, cool, this is like an hour discussion almost, because we have to figure out how this stuff goes.
Yeah, it was really rough, because actually, like, my wife, she texted me, because she only watched the trailer, she didn't watch the presents, and so I didn't realize how much the trailer just didn't include that the presents.
Yeah, you
did.
have to, like, to actually understand it, you have to watch the one where they actually break it down.
Because she watched it, and she's like, was that Wooper the wrong color? And I was like, yeah, it's a Paldea and Wooper. And I was just like, it's a Paldea and Wooper. And she's like, wait, what? I'm just like, yeah, they talked about it in the presents. And like, I sent her the link to like the Scarlet and Violet website. I'm like, this is all this stuff.
Yeah.
Trailers these days, like, I don't care about, because they're just there to like hype up normies, which I would call my wife more of a Pokemon normie than me, right? She's like obviously a Pokemon fan, but she's not into it as much as I am, where I just like consume all of the information, like I inhale it as it comes out.
Not looking at every press release, every little bit of news.
Yeah, they watch the trailers. Watch the trailers. That's where they get it, right? So yeah, it's very fun. So let's not jump into it. The big thing that I think everybody is both confused and interested in is the new mechanic. We got the new gimmick this generation. One, I'm very disappointed there's a gimmick.
This one I kind of like.
What'd you expect?
I mean, I expected this exact gimmick. Let me be completely straight. I expected a gimmick, and we kind of called it back in like June or May.
A couple months ago.
Yeah, a couple months ago, where we did an episode like, what would it look like if type change was something like this? And we came almost exactly to this, where it was just like, you just get become a monotype.
They're the world where you can easily predict, like, this is the next natural step. From, like, Mega Evolution to Z moves to Dynamax type of thing. This is kind of, like, in the vein of, like, all of those.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, and I honestly, what makes me more upset is that this is kind of how I imagined it going. So, because Pokemon has this history of surprising me, right? Of being like, oh yes, we're going to think of the thing that Thatch can't think of, because that would be the most interesting. Right, it's kind of like how The Last Jedi was supposed to like subvert our expectations, but it did so very badly. This way, it just did it. It just was just like, yeah, we just did the thing because we don't know what else to do anymore. And because I don't know what's next after this. I'm sure they don't either.
Yeah, they'll probably bring up back an old gimmick.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I would absolutely be fine with that, because one, this is just going to make Pokemon code even more annoying, because you think of all the tags that we have on Pokemon Now and Home. Now you're going to have to add on what's called a Terra type, which every Pokemon has apparently, which can tell you when it does the act of terastallizing, where the Terra Jewel comes and sits on its head, which is just a hat, by the way. I fully expect to be able to buy these hats. I think they are ugly.
I will say, I think they're silly. I don't like them, but I'll talk with British Gent. You made a really good point. We are adults. Kids aren't going to go and see a Pokemon Terastallize and go, I know what type that is.
No,
they're going to see the funny hat and go, oh, I see the flowers. That's a grass type one. The water, that's a water type one.
That's actually a really good point. It is a very good visual indication.
Yeah, you got to think about the kids, because again, like,
I'm not even thinking of the kids. I'm thinking about myself too.
And it's just like it gives you a visual identifier. Like, yeah, it's so out of place, but it tells you that's what it is.
Yeah, and that's good that they have that visual confirmation.
Yeah,
I think that's a good point. Like, because that does make it so you're not just guessing. Like, you imagine, like, in competitive,
it's not a tiny icon that's like type a marker that's like flashing or something, you know? It's something on the Pokemon. It's visual. You see it, you know what it is at a glance.
To activate this, you have to throw a special ball at the Pokemon that you have to charge up with leaves across the region, I assume. And it's, you carry a Terra Orb, and only select trainers are allowed to get a Terra Orb, which is probably why this one will fall from the sky immediately at the beginning of the game for you. Just like the Dynamax Band and the Z-Ring.
Right.
So it's you know what's worse is like I was rewatching Sword and Shield, like somebody plays the beginning of Sword and Shield. Okay, so like I get the Z-Ring because you get like a cool Tapu Koko scene, and Tapu Koko gives it to you because it wants you to have a Z-Ring. Yeah. But the Dynamax Band, quite literally, you're just hanging out and just falls from the sky.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is enough for 2 of them.
And it's just like, are you kidding me? That's so bad.
Yeah, just like,
that's so bad.
Plot armor. Here we go. We got to bring us plot. Here you go.
Exactly.
Wait, what's the little ball though?
Yeah.
What's the ball? It's the once per battle thing.
Yes.
And essentially, once you for like competitive battles, it won't matter as much because you're just whatever recharge it probably immediately. But for like overworld stuff, once you use it in the overworld, you need to go find the crystals that are scattered around to recharge it, so then you can use it again.
I like that.
So it's essentially it's a very cool way, so you can't just spam it.
Yes, I like that because I think one of my biggest pet peeves about more Z moves than Mega Evolution is that Z moves you could spam and those animations were so long.
Yeah.
Yes.
The ones that I remember being particularly horrible were both Ultra Necrozma, and then also what are those? Lunala and Solgaleos. They were awful. They were just awful. Like they were literally like a minute long.
Yeah. Some of the special ones were just kind of outrageous. It's like, here's this cool cinematic, but I don't need to watch it every time I use this move. I wish I could skip it.
Yeah, it was like a whole minute. It was really bad. But yeah, so the way this works, by the way, for those, so every Pokemon's got a Terra type, and when you Terastallize, that Pokemon then becomes that type. That is the type the Pokemon is. It is the monotype. There are no dual type Terastals, as far as we are aware at this point. I think the game would break if that was the case, personally, but it does not add a type, it just changes the type. So most Pokemon will Terastallize into their type, probably, and you'll get a chance to get some special ones, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But you will get the ability to Terastallize a Pokemon, like Eevee might become a normal Terastal type. So Eevee can't, when that happens, you power up the move's type. You essentially get Stab, and if you are that type already and you turn into it, you essentially get adaptability from. I
don't know if we know if it's adaptability boost, but it's probably
close, right?
We just know that essentially what you get the type, you get Stab with that type, but if you have that type, you get an additional boost. We don't know what that number is of a boost, but it's essentially a boost on top of the normal Stab.
Yeah.
Right.
Which makes me think is adaptability, because that's what adaptability is supposed to be.
That's what I was thinking, honestly. Just at pure instant thought was just like, okay, it's an adaptability boost, but it could be more, it could be less. I assume it's not more, but
yeah.
I mean, my initial impression of this is two things. One, when it comes to gimmicks in the games, like even going back to Gen 6, I usually just ignore it through playthroughs. Like, I don't use this kind of stuff very much. Mm-hmm. And this one, to me, seems not overpowered at a first glance. I don't know. I feel like it could be really useful, but
I like it better than Dynamax, I think.
It gets a lot of utility in my eyes, because I'm imagining things like, okay, Avalugg, mainly a lot of ice types is really what comes to mind, that are just like, the typing's not good, but they've got good stats.
That's true.
So imagine a steel type Avalugg now, or a ghost type Snorlax. I think of this defensively, really, because it allows you to make these Pokemon that are
I do want to make the clarification while we're going into this, by the way, that they have said in the language in the press release that it does seem that every Pokemon will have access to each type. That seems to be the case in the press release. It's not 100% clear, but it's 80%.
Yeah, they haven't flat out said that everything is everything, but
yeah,
they haven't really clarified how you get it though. Beyond I'm
gonna read this word for word what they have here. There are 18 types, meaning there are countless combinations of Pokemon and Terra types, which kind of implies that anything can be anything, but also is not saying.
Yeah.
And the fact of Eevee can have a flying Terra type, which was the one thing which kind of we were going through this too when the thing launched, and going okay, all these Pokemon types have a move of that type, but except for Eevee. Eevee can't have a flying type move.
Exactly.
So it breaks that regulation. So it's either Pokemon are going to have a certain number, or all of them. We really don't know for sure.
It should be noted that you also lose Stab of types you lose, by the way.
Yes.
So if Eevee becomes a water type. Yeah, if Eevee becomes a water type, Eevee will no longer get Stab on tackle. You just that's something to consider as well. There are downsides.
Yeah, because the Terastallization is just changing your type. It is not adding a type alongside your normal Stab. It's just it's saying, cool, I now no longer this type, and I am now this new type.
Yeah,
and this lasts for the battle. Switch out, whatever.
I think in terms of playthrough, I'll probably use it a couple times. I think competitively, it's going to be okay. I don't think it'll be nearly as oppressive as Z moves and Dynamax were. Dynamax was...
It's definitely not Dynamax.
Dynamax was definitely very stupid. The problem that they had with both Z moves and Dynamax is that the typings aren't all balanced, right? Certain typings are the way they are because they get low power moves, because they have very good type matchups. And I think this here is a very good way to maintain that balance while also doing something cool. because like the one type that comes to mind for both problems is flying, right? Because like most flying type Pokemon that don't really need a flying type stab, like Landorus. Like let's think of Landorus, right? He doesn't really need a flying type stab, but they gave him one as Supersonic Sky Strike with the Z move, which made it very stupid because it's just like, oh no, he's just got some of the best coverage in the game. And then you came up with Max Airstream, which gave a speed boost of all things. It was very bad.
I want to say it seems balanced on paper, but I don't want to say anything too early. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with it.
Based on my impression so far, I think it will be more balanced.
I want to agree, but there's also certain scenarios where it's like, yeah, this thing is really broken on some mons, and like, cause again, like I just go to like Snorlax. Imagine like Snorlax with just like a ghost typing, a steel typing. Imagine Toxapex with that, yes. And because again, this doesn't. When you switch out, this does not go away. Imagine a very defensive mon with a type that's defensive.
I can imagine these things, and I can still see that it'll be fine.
There's definitely, I'm not saying there's like no way around it, because only one mon per like battle. Yeah. But it's one of those things
I'm not that worried.
I don't know how the meta will adapt to it.
In my personal opinion, based on past metas, even with Z moves, because we had similar issues with Z moves where it's just like, oh, that could just be anything. And that's why in drafts that included them, you had things where people had to make rules for these are your Z move captains, only these Pokemon can use Z moves. That I think the way that this will be handled will be very simple in that things will settle into roles, and you'll know, Snorlax likes to go ghost type if it does it, or steel type. And so you'll know how to handle it. And I don't think it's going to be nearly as oppressive as you think it.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here, because I'm just like, I want to say it's fair and balanced, but at the same time, I don't know for sure if it is or isn't until we actually see it in practice.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just giving my impression saying that I think it will. Like, I think compared to previous ones that it is. Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it is.
Definitely, at least Dynamax for sure. Dynamax was like thinking on a paper, like, oh, this is fun, this is fine. It's like, no, in reality, no, that was definitely not okay. Giving double HP and like stat boost on moves, and then Z Crystals are just like cool. Z Crystals are just like an answer to certain things, which is good and bad.
So you can get some of the rare types. By the way, they bring back raid battles because there has to be a thing to collect, and so you can get Pokemon with rare Terra types. Through raid battles, pretty much the exact same way you were doing raid battles in Sword and Shield. The only difference is instead of it being a turn-based raid battle, it looks like it's more real-time.
Yeah, free-for-all.
Yeah,
everybody's just attacking.
It's just like everybody attacking, which seems like madness, but it might be something that might be more cut. I like that they did it here because it'll shut up all the people that want like real-time Pokemon battles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's nice because you remember like the raids previously, people would take forever.
Yes.
And so you're just sitting there and it's like, okay, well, some dude like went to the bathroom or something. And we're just all waiting on him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be like, okay, everybody's going to attack and it's not going to be a big deal.
I really like this though. I do like these raid battles. I also like that they brought back raids because I thought raids were some of the coolest things.
Yeah, no, raids is a very good thing. And I think with what they're doing, this is a way to make them work too. Cause also like, just with the types too, it makes the collectability aspect. And when you do go into the raids, like that raid screen there, it will show the type on it. We saw a picture of it. Where like there's a Meryl that had the steel type emblem on it for like the Terra type. So it's like, cool, okay, you'll see what you're getting, essentially.
I just don't like that it's tied. I mean, I don't know. We don't know how it's going to change. Like, for instance, if I bring a Mon up from a previous gen one, I don't know if they're like how they get assigned their Terra type.
It'll be random, or they'll do it like they've had solutions for this kind of stuff for a while.
Well, I'm just curious on how they're going to do it, and also how they're going to be able to change it. Like, if I want to be able to make my Go-Goat fairy type or whatever, you know.
I totally expect that it'll be DLC, just like the Gigantamax soup. Like, I feel it feels like so far with how similar everything feels to Sword and Shield. I'm sitting here like, so DLC is going to come out, and we're going to get Gigantamax. Terra type soup. Not a soup actually. It's gonna be Terra type falafel, and that way you can just change whatever type you want it to be.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking too. It's just like, okay, so they're not gonna do it right away because they want you to play the game and do the raid and farm all that like
it's just like Gigantamax.
Play the hours and hours of this content to get these things, get these types for your teams and all that, and then like.
9 months later, you'll get a DLC that makes it all worthless. Yeah.
I honestly expect the things that get brought up to essentially get like randomly selected between a stab type.
I can see that. I can just honestly see it being randomly selected.
And then from there, you just change it.
I could see it being randomly selected though as well.
Yes, same too. So yeah, either or, But
they will make it so that your Pokemon can be whatever Terra type that they want to be.
Because I'm just trying to think. I assume they're going to be the same thing with like Pokemon in the Wild. I doubt Pokemon in the Wild are just going to be any random Terra type. Then why have these raids? So that's why I assume the transfer will follow the catch of Wild.
I think some of them might be rarer than others because, like, I think you could. The way they made it sound is like some EV can be water type or grass type. So I wouldn't be surprised if like there are some variations in the wild, but some of there might be like every Pokemon has 3 of them you can catch in the wild, but the other 15 you have to get in raids or something. I could see it being like that, like where there's like 1 or 2 odd ones that they can get.
This point with it, we're more speculating on the Terra stuff too. At this point.
Absolutely.
We don't know for sure, but it's totally
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we do here. Welcome to the Puckle Podcast. All right, but we talked about Terastal stuff enough. I think we can talk about some of the other cool stuff, like our motorcycles. I mean, legendary Pokemon. I mean, friends. I mean,
Flintstone cars. So the wheels still don't move.
So yeah, that's kind of weird. Like,
I hate that they took the time to put the wheels into Rhydon's design, only to have him ignore that they exist and run anyway.
Right. He's just running.
I know it doesn't work like the Flintstone car because technically the wheels don't move, but I do like the kind of the thought of it's just a Flintstone car. It's using its feet to move the car, even though it's not like.
So like I was gonna get Scarlet, and my wife was gonna get Violet, and then I saw this, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. He's running weird. I don't know that I could do this for a whole game.
Yeah, I was in the same boat. I was like, I really like Korai more, and then I was like,
I like it. Koraidon's great.
I mean, it's still cute. I think it's cute, but the other thing I don't know. I'm not a fan of the fact that it looks like you're just going to get them right away. It looks like
I think it's going to be kind of like Sword and Shield, where like they pop up a lot in the story and stuff and all that stuff, and then like at the very end you catch them.
I think it's going to be like that. Yeah. I imagine there's going to be like I imagine this is for better or for worse going to start like Breath of the Wild, where it's like here's some mini tasks and you learn how to use Rhydon and Koraidon.
Yeah.
And to do the thing that you want, but it's I don't know. I don't like getting the legendary that early, which makes me hope that there's more legendary Pokemon than because Sword and Shield were actually really.
Oh, there will be.
Oh yeah.
Well, Sword and Shield were really bad, and especially with an open world game like this, where we can go anywhere. I would love to just like accidentally stumble upon a legendary Pokemon. I think that'd be great.
They're just like free roaming, running around.
Yeah, I would.
Like free roaming legendaries would be really cool in an open environment like this.
Could you imagine like the legendary dogs like from Gen 2 just like running around like crazy?
Just running around.
Mm-hmm.
That would be insane.
You like corner them and try to catch them.
Yeah, it just turns out that both Rhydon and Koraidon or Miradon, Koraidon and Miradon are just your HMs, and you go around. It's very close to how it was in Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah,
right?
It's just all the modes of like, here's your Basculegion, here's your Weirdeer, here's your Braviary.
Right.
Yep. They're all the same.
It's like, I think it's legitimately just probably like reskins, essentially, which is, I'm okay with.
I'm not mad about it, but yeah, I imagine it's just like that. That's my...
I know, before we were saying earlier, too, I just hope they implement them in the beginning of the game, fine, like, well, and it's not just like, yeah, you just walked into this Pokemon like Sword and Shield was like, yep, you walked into the forest and then there's the dogs and then they just join your team, like join you as an item. It's like, I hope it's not like that. I hope there's an actual reason.
I hope so too. I mean, they did do a little bit of world building so far, and I kind of like it better. This naturally like flows in to something else I wanted to talk about, because like they have a new like they mentioned some things about the story already. Like they've mentioned that you're going to be at a school, depending on which version you're in. If the school's named something different, and you can. But like the school has like its own plot. The only thing that really, the thing that bothers me is like I can see it happening, and I really hope it doesn't. Where it's just like, big man with power seems like friend becomes bad guy. I really hope that's not the case.
A lot of people have been saying the director's like the villain. I don't think that's the case. I don't.
Yeah, so his name's Clavel. He's the director of the Academy. Yes. Yeah, he does give off Rose vibes, Chairman Rose vibes.
A little bit, yeah.
Which I hope is not the case, because like I think the same vibes I could say I also get like Silene or Commando vibes from him as well.
Mm-hmm. Commando, yeah. I get more villain vibes from Jacques than the homeroom teacher than Clavel. Because I could easily see him just like, he just gets really mad at one point, just like, yep, now you see the villains, like, because he just has like that really, like, sharp hairstyle, and I could easily see that. It kind of gives me almost Guzma vibes. Or, like...
Maybe, I don't know.
Like the hair a bit, made the hair and the glasses kind of gives me those types of vibes. And, like, with a little bit of shit, like, baggy clothing. That's what I get from him.
Guys, we could just not have any villains in this game.
Maybe. I don't think so, though.
Okay, so you could say that, and then I would say we didn't have villains really in Pokemon Sword and Shield outside, I guess, of like the random Macrocosmos at the end. They're just like, wait,
they did not do the pacing of the villain team well at all.
No.
Yeah, but they will. I mean, that's part of the Pokemon trope at this point. If we're, it's there just as much as Pikachu and like gyms, right? And they, you know, I mean, we had trials instead of gyms once, which was actually really cool. I'm happy they brought gyms back as well, and they've confirmed that the gyms can be tackled in any order, which is really cool. And that they're not level adjusted.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So you could just like run headlong early into the game to like the final gym if you really wanted to.
I'm kind of okay with that, like, because at least you could like, especially like when we first play before any of us know what's going on, you could run into a gym and then just get spanked.
Yep.
Which I'm all for, by the way. Like I'm here for it.
That's going to lead to some fun moments, I think. So
because I imagine if they keep the catch rate calculations in, similar to how the catch rate calculations work in Generation 8, where if your Pokemon is a lower level than the Pokemon you're trying to catch, the catch rate drops significantly. That it'll be fine. Like just running around open world like that will be fine. Because we only got one gym so far though, and it's Grusha, and we just know that Grusha is the Ice type gym leader. And that
Grusha has a new Pokemon.
Yeah, Sea Titan. That's a good pivot.
Yeah,
good call. Sea Titan. I think Sea Titan is legitimately just Ice though, which is kind of a bummer.
It is.
Well, I'm okay with it. I'm kind of okay with it. We've got some of the abilities and stuff too, like stats.
I haven't looked at abilities yet. I just went and looked at types real quick.
Sick Fat and Slush Rush.
Yeah.
Oh, Slush Rush. Oh no. And you know what? Its base speed's gonna be 40 like Sand Slash. It's gonna be awful.
Yeah. That's what I expect, but it's one of the things of like, cool, once we know the stat line, that might be okay, because even though, it's an Ice type, it's weak to like a bunch of other types, the fact that you're fire neutral now, and a quad resist to Ice.
Thick Fat, I think, is more exciting than Slush Rush.
Oh, totally.
I think Thick Fat is definitely.
But now I'm excited to see it do some fun stuff. Hopefully,
yeah, it might be a good Ice type. Maybe they for once gave us a good Ice type. I don't know.
Right? That's I'm hoping it might be kind of almost Avalagusk with like just high HP or something instead, and just like something. Hopefully, we'll see.
They also gave us Fido, the fairy type pupper.
It is delicious looking.
It only has own tempo, probably because it seems like in every picture that we see of it, it's just oblivious doing its own thing.
Yeah,
it really reminds me of Milcery, and it's like they took Yamper and Milcery and shoved them together.
Yeah,
that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it's a very good way to like do it. Yeah,
I do think it's funny. We've seen like several like object or like food mons already.
Yes,
that they've been releasing to us. And like, I enjoy Fido, and I know we were talking about earlier, it'd be really cool if its evolution was Fire Fairy, you know, like keeping that whole like,
because it's he got baked.
Yeah, he becomes like a full like bun. I think that'd be great.
He's just a hot dog bun.
Yeah, ooh.
He's just a hot dog bun.
I like that.
That'd be cute.
But yeah, I mean, like that, I enjoy that. I mean, the whole Paldea and Wooper thing was interesting because I think that was that came out in the leaks.
Yeah. I like Paldea and Wooper for a couple of reasons. One, it shows that they're still committed to the idea of regional Pokemon, which I think is the best idea they've come up with after Mega Evolution. But one of the best ideas, and I'm happy to see them continue it, and I will always be. And to be fair, I assumed it was happening at this point because they've leaned on it so hard recently. Because like we got a Alolan Pokemon that was obviously a success, and then Galarian Pokemon came out, and I can't name a Galarian Pokemon I don't like. And then they did it with Hisuian Pokemon, which was very interesting to do. And I'm just like, well, if they did Hisuians, we're getting, whatever these are. And so first of all, we got a region name, which is Paldea. I don't know why it took them that long to give it to us, which is dumb.
Yeah, that's more annoyed that took so long for them to give us a region name. But
yeah, they usually like give that to us
proper
very
trailer.
early.
So
But Paldea and Wooper is a poison ground type Pokemon. It is the poison fish Pokemon. His abilities are poison type, poison point, and water absorb. I love that for him.
Yeah.
Water absorb.
Yeah, water. I love seeing water absorb on not water type Pokemon. I love that.
Yes,
it's just an immunity, essentially immunity for a weakness, which is actually like kind of crazy.
Yeah,
and it helps it out.
That's gonna make it
because like
better. Yeah, it's gonna run a water absorb. It's not running poison point.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very.
I know
cute.
one thing people were like speculating is that at least in the site they show like, it's not surprising to see poison Pokemon in the area these things are. So like people are like, are we gonna find status encounters in the wild? And I'm like,
that could be interesting.
I don't know, but
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. You know what I mean? Like it could definitely happen, but
it'd be a cool it'd be an interesting like aspect or like another angle to certain things, which is kind of cool.
I could see it happening, but at the same time, I could see it just being flavor text.
Exactly. Like.
I think probably what it's going to actually be is there's just going to be other poison types around it.
I assume, it's a flavor text, you know.
Even then, like the thing that I don't know, it's one of those things that I just don't care about, honestly. Like if they do it, cool. If they don't do it, meh. It's like, the way I feel about that being a possible mechanic is the same way I feel about following Pokemon in Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Which looks like it's back.
Everybody can just shut up about it, though. I imagine what we have is not following Pokemon per se. I think the happy middle ground that we had was in PLA, where you can just like throw them all out of their Pokeball and they can just hang out for a few seconds.
This looks like they're actually following you around, though.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention, so...
There was two things. There was the one they definitely pointed out like having the starters following them, the characters around, like they were running and they were following them. And then they also had a scene where like the person was standing next to like a full team of 6 Pokemon.
Yeah.
So maybe it's both.
It might be both. The last thing I wanted to talk about, because I like this, is it looks like we finally got like the dream multiplayer in Scarlet and Violet, where you and it looks like up to 3 friends can join together and explore the same world and look for Pokemon together, and you could probably battle and do all of this other fun stuff. I don't know, like they definitely got very, very excited with the way they were talking about the multiplayer.
I'm glad we actually have an actual like place to go, essentially, instead of like, you're gonna see these people phase in and phase out, and it's like, okay, I don't care about that. Like,
yeah, and it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that's the case at all. Like,
no, it's just like you're just all in the same instance, essentially.
Yeah, which is so cool to me. Like, I don't know. Like, this is essentially the trait, like the dream. And you know what? The thing that makes me most excited about this feature is it depends on how they let you interact together outside of just like running around together in like a very poopy version of the wild area. Like in the poopy version, like they gave us in the wild area. But it does show people taking their Pokemon for a stroll together. But I'm wondering if you could do battles together, like initiate a battle with one another while you're together. Because if that's the case, they may not put a timer on that. Which
they
would
might not,
make me very happy. That might be the way around the timer. Like I can imagine there might be like a ladder or something where on the ladder the timer's stuck and you can't turn it off. But if you could just connect with your friends and we're like, hey, let's go to the beach to get the background for the beach in our battle, I think that'd be super cool. I think that would be, in my opinion, the best way to do it. And I'm hoping that's the case. Like I'm hoping that's how they respond to the timer controversy, because that was a very large one. Because once we get that back, I'm back, baby. I'm coming back. I'm playing OU again because I like playing on cart. I like playing on cart a lot.
Yeah.
Compared to playing on just Showdown. Showdown feels very mechanical.
Showdown's convenient. It is mechanical. I like it because it's convenient.
Yes.
I mean, I can play it on my phone. I can play it on the computer. Yeah. It's quicker. But like, no, I get it. It's nice to play on the game itself.
The way I feel about Showdown versus playing on cart is the way I feel about playing TCGO and then going to League.
Yeah.
I know it's very similar feeling.
It's a very different
experience. It's a different experience.
No, I get that.
The timer's different. There's like the pacing of your actions is different, which doesn't sound like it'd be a big deal, but it is. And it definitely takes a slightly different skill set. Like in Showdown, when you turn the timer on, you've got 2 minutes. That's so long. In Pokemon, when you have the time, if you have a timer, like a chess timer or something, it is straight up like maybe 100 seconds at most, but nowadays it's 60. So and doing calcs is super, super fast. You have to do them super fast if you're doing them.
Yeah. Well, for like Showdown and stuff, I'm usually faster on Showdown than on Cart.
Yeah,
I think more on Cart. Because once you select something, you're locked in.
Yes.
Showdown is just like, I can keep bouncing back and forth between like 15 different options and do it from a click of a button.
I mean, so I know we're wrapping up here, but I would think I would be remiss not to mention that Go-Goat is returning. And, I think, maybe it says something about the state of our beloved games here, that we're excited about a certain Pokemon returning or not. But, for me, that's a big one. It's nice to see, them and Sawsbuck.
Yeah, Sawsbuck as well. I was like, we're getting Sawsbuck back.
They showed a lot of, so there's in my mind the missing 60, but I think I should be thinking more of the missing 250 in my in context for these games. That seems to be the way they're approaching it, because so far they've specifically shown a ton of Pokemon that aren't available in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Hariyama too was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, the ones they show off, because Joe Merrick thankfully keeps a list for us, which is nice to have. So he, but looking at it, just looking at the Pokemon that are available that they've shown off so far, I can count a ton that were not available in Sword and Shield. Houndour, not available in Sword and Shield.
Oh yeah. Ampharos
line, not available in Sword and Shield. Venonat line, not available in Sword and Shield. Then you've got, I guess regular Slowpoke, kind of. Magnemite, not available in base Sword and Shield. Shelder and Cloyster,
right?
I think were available in base. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Hoppip was not. They showed a lot of Gen 2 Pokemon, because there are a lot of Gen 2 Pokemon actually missing.
Yeah, a lot of Gen 2.
Yeah.
We're actually missing from Sword and Shield, and a lot of them, Mischievous isn't in Sword and Shield.
Talonflame line was another one they put in for Isle of Armor.
It was Isle of Armor.
Wasn't in base.
Fanpy, Pineco.
Yeah.
Slacking was not in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Slacking.
Cacnea and Cacturn were not in Sword and Shield.
Yep.
They showed off a ton that are in just the 200 that we're missing, and we saw a lot of the Pokemon of the missing 60, Sawsbuck.
Electros was another one actually,
and Electros. Yes, I was about to say that.
Electros.
Ooh.
Petlil and Lilligant were also not they were Isle of Armor, I believe. But they're definitely, at this point, seeing all these Spuya, Scatterbug, Vivillon, Florges was shown, obviously, but that was a while ago. But there are a lot of Pokemon in the quote-unquote missing 60 and missing 250 from Sword and Shield that are available here. So at least they're doing their due diligence
to give us Beast Balls.
To give us Pokemon. They'll give us Beast Balls.
Unlike BDSP.
Well, yeah, no evidence for curveballs or anything yet.
But they are doing their due diligence to make sure that at least it appears to be that they're doing their due diligence to put the Pokemon in that weren't in the last games in these.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have yet to see is give us the starters that weren't available in Sword and Shield in these games.
Yes.
I think particularly the Kalos starters and the Unova starters, because at least in BDSP you can get the Gen 2 starters.
That's true. That's true.
In that regard. And even then, they should put the Gen 4 starters in here as well, because they weren't available.
I expect them. They might be more of a DLC thing, but I do expect them.
I expect them to, if they're not catchable in game, be in the code.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of
I personally expect most, if not all, of the things that were in PLA.
Yeah, we don't know anything about Weird Ear or any of those.
Yeah, I expect all of those to potentially be available in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I expect all of the Hisuian Pokemon.
Or at least compatible.
Yeah, because we know Zoroark is.
Yeah, and we also know that they're kind of stealing the art style for the models anyway. The models are probably there, so it's probably very similar in maybe the not the skin, but the graphic overlay is slightly different on the models, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see as that develops. I don't know, because there are a lot of Gen 4 Pokemon already confirmed, so I would be unsurprised if this.
It's a lot of Gen 2, 3, and 4. It feels like.
So far, and the Gen 2 Pokemon they've shown, a lot of them. And it's partially because Sword and Shield just didn't have them in it. It's a lot of the Pokemon from Gen 2 that were just not in Sword and Shield. Which I'm very happy about. I am very much looking forward to this game, just because I don't know. It's nice to see what the Pokemon Company is doing. Unfortunately, it took us like 4 years to really see what they're trying to do with the Pokemon franchise. And I'm feeling better about it now that I'm seeing it happen. I just wish they would have like showed us the roadmap.
Right.
It would have made the blow a little bit softer.
Yeah.
To see the roadmap, because when they go, oh hey, your Pokemon might not be there. Initially, you're just like, well, now I have to wait 3 years, and that doesn't seem to be the case at this point. In the case of like the Magical 60, like Go-Goat. So if something's missing, I would just almost expect it in the next game, right?
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I see it thus far.
Yeah, the whole transition of like decks and stuff could have been done so much better if they just didn't drop it as they dropped it. You know, it's like these Pokemon just aren't in the game.
Everything,
you know? It's like it wasn't even in the presents. It wasn't like softened. It was just like you're just casually talking. It's like no Pokemon aren't going to be in the game because it was just a rough drop. It was not.
Right.
They could have done so much better PR on it, and they just didn't.
The PR was trash, and the way showing us the roadmap was garbage. The whole thing's been really poorly put together. But it's definitely looking like it's gonna be okay. It's looking like it's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, I have very few qualms about this game. Like the only concern I have is like, do we get like 3 frames per second stuff like we did in PLA? And even then, like.
It looks mostly good. I think there's only one hiccup during that trailer I even saw.
There was 2. I saw 2 hiccups.
I thought one of them was a Pachirisu who really started badly.
One of the following Mons seemed to not really glide over the surface very well.
Oh.
I think it was.
I'm not too worried. It's a Pokemon game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
As long as it's actually functions and it doesn't crash.
Yep.
Like a lot. That's all I care about.
Yep. Every Pokemon game crashes like within the first few days of release, I think, and then they patch it. But we'll see. I'm excited. I think we're all excited. I can't wait till November because that's probably the next time we'll hear about it.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
All right, well, that's going to be it, guys. We're going to kick it on over to the Pokemon of the episode. And, we'll catch you on the flip-flop.
Poke of the episode.
And welcome to our Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 233, Porygon 2, the virtual Pokemon.
Its Legends Arceus Dex entry says, a bizarre item caused this Pokemon to evolve. While it now exhibits many new gestures and expressions, its biology remains inscrutable.
Okay, so before we talk about like the competitive team, I think it got a card in Chilling. No, it's got a card coming up in Lost Abyss. That might actually be okay. That might be okay. It's coming out in Lost Origins. That's what it is. Yeah. And I just want to mention that because we always only talk about like the video game part here. And I know some people might get like a fun little bit of trivia.
The whole Porygon line is actually like decent for the new stuff. Like the Porygon Z is viable. Like kind. I don't want to say it's viable, but it's like it's got de-evolution beam, which is very fun.
Yes.
Yeah, which is cute. Porygon 2, by the way, does garbage attack for 1 colorless. And this attack does 20 damage for each Pokemon tool card in each player's Lost Zone. And there's a bunch. I think the Rotom also works on putting tools in.
The Rotom works with like tools. It puts stuff into the Lost Zone with like tools and items.
There's like a Porygon 2 Rotom deck I think people were looking at that to be cute. So it's just something to keep in mind.
There's also some fun trivia stuff, because one thing here is in Generation 2 games, you can't like re-nickname a Porygon 2 to Porygon 2 because there were no number characters. So you can never name it Porygon 2 again.
Yeah, that's true.
It's also the only member of its evolutionary family that didn't get like an anime voice, because Porygon got one in like whatever in the episode 38, but then Porygon Z also got one in Pokepark Wii, and Porygon 2 has never shown up in like any like game or anime like that, so it's never gotten like a vocal voice for it.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny, you know.
It's cute.
It's just like one of those weird things. Like, okay.
Porygon 2, by the way, if you have just ever played doubles, it's been a Pokemon that's been there.
Super good for support and utility.
I mean, its stats aren't bad. Its base stat total is 515, which is actually really good.
You've got like mostly base like 80s, 90s.
It's base 80s, 90s everywhere. Base 85 HP, 80 attack, 90 defense, 105 special attack, 95 special defense, and 60 speed. All that's good.
And it run Eviolite.
And it can run Eviolite. So like
the defenses are more like 130 essentially each, which is kind of insane. And also having recover.
Yes.
Like, and then like essentially recover is always there, and then you just have utility move.
And it gets bolt beam. It gets bolt beam on top of all that, which is
the coverage. It's a Porygon. It gets a disgusting range of coverage.
And on top of that, it gets Trick Room, and its speed is within Trick Room range. It also gets some fun abilities and trace and download, mostly downloaded to give you a special attack boost. Apparently,
because 105 with a +1, you don't need investment. Just 105 base. And then or if you want to do analytic. You could do that, because if you've got low speed, you're generally going slower.
What is this? So we've got a team today for Series 12, only because I couldn't find Series 13 teams yet, which I think are fun and gimmicky. So we're going to just jump right into it. We're going to start up. This team, by the way, it got second place at Regionals in Brisbane, just as a heads up. And so this team is got 2 legends on it for the restricted format. The 2, though, are not Zacian and Kyogre, which make me happy.
Zacian Kyogre.
So we've got Porygon 2 holding an Eviolite with Trace as the ability instead of download. Probably to steal, you could steal like a Beast Boost, or you could steal
Intimidate or something.
Well, you can steal like Zacian stuff.
Yeah, you can just steal like better.
Or Intimidate. Intimidate, I think, is better, especially based on this set. 244 HP, 156 defense, 108 special defense, calm nature. This is just to make you a bulky boy. This is running Foul Play, so you can hit Zacian or whatever else hard if it gets a boost. Eerie Impulse, so you can punish people who have special attacking moves, which I found very useful, especially in VGC. Recover, so that you can recover health, and then Trick Room, because this team is a hard Trick Room team. Oh boy, is it.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, we got one of the more impressive Trick Room mons in the format, who is very good at countering Kyogre. We have Palkia. Palkia is holding the Lustrous Orb because it's like Palkia. It is base 204 HP, 36 defense, 252 HP, 12 special defense, and 4 speed, so it can outspeed 0 speed Palkia. It's got a modest nature because you're just going to hit hard and go into Trick Room. Its attacks are Earth Power, Spatial Rend, and Hydro Pump. All of those are very good when it goes big. I assume this is a Dynamax target because Palkia typically is. It too will have Trick Room on it, because this is a very hard Trick Room team. It's a very hard Trick Room team.
Yes, it is.
This team wants to always be in Trick Room all the time. Somebody should take the other 2.
I'll take the next 2. And then you also got the other legend, which would be insanely good in Trick Room, is Calyrex Ice Rider with the weakness policy.
So good.
Ability as 1, of course, because it has to. Max HP, max attack, 4 special defense, and a brave nature. You're just tank a hit hard. Unga bunga. This is probably another one of your Dynamax targets for sure.
As one is so stupid because you're combining 2 abilities, but it's just like the really good one from last year, and then it's just like
a good passive,
and then it's just like unnerve from Calyrex. And it's like, I'm never using this, but that's okay.
It's a nice passive whenever it comes up.
Yeah, I guess it prevents your opponent from eating its citrus berry, which is semi-bad.
It just essentially just forces citrus berries and stuff, like berries out of the format, essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
But move-wise, it's got Glacial Lance and High Horsepower as your 2 attacking moves. Trick Room, because you can set Trick Room too, so why not run it? And then Protect.
Yep.
And then, this is a hard Trick Room, so you have to, of course, you have to have Regieleki, one of the fastest mons in the game. It has to be on Trick Room, of course.
Okay, but did you see the speed investment? It's just like, yeah, I'm not committing to this.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, you don't have to commit. You don't even need to commit for it to be the fastest mon.
I know.
It's got Life Orb with Transistor, of course. 12 HP, 116 defense, 252 special, 4 special defense, and 124 speed with a modest nature. With Thunderbolt, Electroweb, Hyper Beam, and Protect, and of course you gotta slow down those Pokemon in Trick Room. You gotta make sure they are outsped.
They're slower than you, so they outspeed you.
Yeah, I don't. It's probably just for like the modes when you don't have Trick Room up and such, of course. But yeah, good old Regieleki in Trick Room.
Yep. Take those last 2 from us, Mark.
Okay, so last but not least, we have a Moongus with a Focus Slash, Regenerator ability, 236 HP, 156 defense, 116 special defense with a Relaxed nature. Got some Pollen Puff, Spore, Rage Powder, and Protect for its attacks, so it's going to be, being a Moongus. And then, of course, we can't have, a team without Incineroar. Yeah, Incineroar's got Safety Glasses. Ability is Intimidate, 252 HP, 4 attack, 116 defense, 132 special defense, and 4 speed. Careful Nature got Flare Blitz, Fake Out, Taunt, and Parting Shot. So, good Incineroar.
It seems just to very much protect the castle sort of team, like as a lot of them are nowadays with the Legends. True Legends, like, cool, protect those two. Because, like, Amoonguss just goes, okay, cool, you have Pollen Puff for support, Spore for, like, stopping something, or Rage Powder to guarantee you take 2 hits from something with Focus Sash, because you just hit, one thing hits you, you get triggered or Focus Sash, the other thing hits you, it finishes you off, giving you a turn to, like, set up with something else, or set up your Trick Room, It's, like, kind of what it seems like. Just, like, here are your 2 big boys, and then a bunch of stuff to just kind of support those two.
I mean, yeah, that's what these formats typically tend to be anyway. It's just like, you got 2 big boys, what can you support the big boys with?
Looking at these, I feel like a lot more support than I'm used to seeing in these. Like, Regieleki is a bit more offensive, but it's like, I think it's just there to deal with certain things.
I don't know. Amoonguss has just existed in this type of format forever because it's just Rage Powders. Yeah. And Pollen Puff made it better. And so it just Rage Powders, and so you can just do thing. And Dynamax made everything stupid. I am very excited for Dynamax to no longer be in the format.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people agree with me based on the fact that there were 3 times that that users got bumped in the for playing ranked. 2 of them were when the DLCs dropped, and the 3rd one was when Dynamax was kicked out of the format. So Dynamax has definitely not been super healthy, so I cannot wait to go to Terastallization, which I think will be better. But we shall see. But yeah, if you want that team and its shiny form, you can grab it from us on our Patreon at patreon.com/PoKoPodcast, and I will try to remember to put this on the Discord server so you guys can also try it. Until then, I am going to, or not I, but we, the royal we, are going to kick it on over to the mailbag.
It's mail time! It's time for the mailbag! Send in your emails!
And welcome to the Mailbag. The Mailbag is the part of the show where you can send us emails at puclpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll read them on the show. We typically have a prompt. Last week we asked you what your favorite Pokemon that's based on an inanimate object is. So we look forward to hearing from you guys, and I want to know what you guys think about the trailer for next week. But of course, if you spark enough conversation on the show, we are going to go ahead and give you the Green Tauros badge, a role on the server where you too can join other members of the Green Tauros badge club and just say hooves in the channel, because I think that is all we ever talk about. And so on that note, we are going to go ahead and we are going to get started. Our first email today is going to be from Big Cat Bruce.
All right. He says, what it do, Puckle crew? I'm writing this email before the presents on Wednesday, so I'll start off by saying I'm incredibly excited to get some official news. I hope that it's great information and we learn about the region, the gimmick, and some new Pokemon. Well, you're in for a treat. With that said, I have some thinking on what the inanimate objects I'd like to see. First, they should be a 3-stage line of furniture Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the stages should be based on an ottoman evolving into a chair, and then finally a big couch.
When he said furniture Pokemon, that's exactly what I thought too, by the way, and I'm here for it.
I'd rather just see like 1 ottoman, 2 ottoman, 3 ottoman, then you can just make a joke about the Ottoman Empire.
Little fez on their heads. That'd be great. I'm thinking mono normal with the abilities fluffy or water absorbed, depending on whether you want a more comfy couch or you want one that's stain resistant. The shiny would obviously be black leather. Next, I'm surprised that we haven't had a spell book yet. I'm thinking that a 2-stage line that is split evolution, perhaps it's a gift Pokemon you receive in a library. Then it becomes either Dark Magic Spellbook and goes dark when it evolves with minimum friendship at night or maximum friendship at night. No, I'm sorry, minimum.
You said minimum.
Goodness. Yeah. Or a light magic spellbook Fairy Psychic when it evolves with maximum friendship during the day. Do we even have, we don't have anything that utilizes minimum friendship.
No, that wouldn't work because it's so hard. You can't decrease friendship.
Yeah. That's why I was confused. I was like, did I read that right?
Honestly, thinking about that, making it like a Spiritomb form that's just like a bunch of books would be kind of cool.
That would be cute.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like put that thing a book or something like that. That'd be kind of
You need 108 books to combine into Spiritomb.
Yeah, you have to find all the books for the library, and once you do, you can catch the Spiritomb.
Yeah.
There you go, the side quest.
Oof, good lord. Another idea is one based on automobiles. I see it as another split evolution line, but this one's 3 stages. First stage is a small, nondescript 4-door sedan that is steel type. Then at level 20, if its HP is higher than its speed, it evolves into another steel type, a pickup truck. Then at 36, it evolves into a big 18-wheeler tractor trailer. It is incredibly bulky with a good attack for trick room. It is also steel poison because of the diesel fumes. However, if speed is higher than its HP at level 20, it evolves into another steel type, a sports car. Think a Porsche. Then at 36, it evolves into Formula 1 race car. I'm thinking steel fire.
No, we're not talking about it. No, we're not talking about it.
Finally, this is inspired by Power Rangers and Voltron.
I'm here for it.
It not as much as an inanimate object, but it would be a Pokemon that resembles a robot-themed action figure. The evolution gimmick is that you have 6 of them in your party, and then the first one to get to level 30 with a full team of 6 will evolve into the Megazord or Voltron, where all 6 of them combine together and become a great big steel fighting robot.
There was that one clip in the anime where they did it with all the Metagross things.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Mega Metagross with a Metagross on top with a Metang and with like a couple of Beldum.
With like a Beldum as a head.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
It was cute.
So I think there's still a lot of untapped potential for inanimate objects, either as new Pokemon, new Rotom forms, or even regional forms like Water Steel, Underwater Aegislash that looks like a trident instead of a sword.
Okay, no, that needs to happen.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
That needs to happen. Like
whatever they do, I'm sure they will be panned by the community at first and then become beloved after enough time has passed. No, that's definitely not wrong.
It just hasn't happened to Vanillite yet, except for Thatch. I've always liked Vanillite.
Oh, I don't, but I understand. I hope you all enjoy the Pokemon Presents, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Big Cat Bruce.
All right. No, we didn't even talk about any of the other stuff that happened in the Pokemon Presents, like Cafe Remix.
No. Should we? No.
You think people care about Cafe Remix?
No, I don't.
So someone's gonna say they care about it just to say I'm wrong.
I think Joe Merrick cares.
He's a listener of our podcast, though.
Yeah, so that's true.
I think he has to force himself to enjoy these things with the site he runs. You know, like
I don't know.
He may enjoy it, but does he really enjoy it? I
assume so. All right, our next email is going to be from Deacon Cheese. Hey, Poco Crew. First time sending into the mailbag. I've been listening on and off for a few years now, and I love your podcast format. It's the type of conversation I love having with my own crew. I'm not typically, you know what's worse is that sometimes, though, now because, like, the guys I do the podcast with, like Mark and Shamu, will just know so much more about what's happening than my other friends, that when my other friends try to have conversations like this with me, I get annoyed. Because I'm just like, I don't have time to explain to you what's happening in the community that makes me know that you're wrong. And you won't believe me until I can prove that you're wrong, and it's just not worth my time. It's just like, it's honestly frustrating. With great power comes great responsibility, you know? Yeah, I'm not typically a fan of the inanimate object Pokemon, as I tend to lean towards the more natural Pokemon. But I have one special one that may not come up often in conversation. One of my favorite Pokemon is Donphan. That's right, Gen 2 boys represent. Whom I would consider to be the best blend of animal and object. Who can forget the first time he was revealed to us in the movie? I cannot. That is true. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Donphan's the best. We're going to talk about it.
Donphan is the best. Yeah.
He doesn't get enough.
Coming back in this next game.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Goodbye, Vanilla. Donphan is my new best friend.
Yeah, Donphan's in this game. I'm gonna catch a Donphan. Donphan's on my team. If it's as long as it's early enough. I hope so. Because the only time that I think, when was the last time Donphan was in a regional dex?
Oh God.
I don't think it's been a regional dex in Gen 2.
I'll try to do some research.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I don't know off the top of my head.
So I figured I'd help him out with some love for the pod. He doesn't get enough love in the game, so I'd give him some love on the pod. Keep up doing what you guys have been doing. I love catching up. The top and bottom 5 of each type has been my favorite so far. That's why we do them. To many more episodes. Deacon Cheese. Donphan. I don't think Donphan's been in a game in forever. He was post game in BDSP.
No, it was post game in like everything.
Yes.
Essentially.
Gen 6, it was in the
Omega Ruby Safari Zone, which
it was in Oris.
That's essentially not regional. That's post game.
Right. Yeah. No, that's fair. Anyways.
It's been pretty much post game for everything.
Phanpy is like in no regional decks. It's bad. It's like, if they give me early game Phanpy, I will play with it.
Yes.
1000%. I absolutely will. Yeah, it's Hoenn number 172, but nobody cares. Nobody cares. I guess it was Hoenn 165 in original, but whatever. It's fine.
But it's essentially, it's been post-game every time it's popped
Gen
up.
3.
Yeah, it's been post-game.
Yeah.
It's been post-game. Gen 3, which is not much better. I do agree with you.
Yeah. All right. I'll take the one from Rich here. Hi guys, love your show. Just found it a few weeks ago, but I've gone back and listened to quite a few episodes.
Oh, poor soul.
I'm sorry for you.
Poor soul.
Yeah, poor soul. Anyway, my favorite inanimate object Pokemon is Vanillux. Who doesn't love ice cream, am I right? I wish Vanillux was a bit better. It's good, but it's not good enough.
I think the problem is it's just like it's pure typing.
With pure typing, its stat line and move pool is kind of just all over the place.
I feel like if it was ice normal or something, it might have been even better. Because like it's called Vanillux. It's vanilla Pokemon. It could have been normal ice. It could have gotten
it could have.
Yeah, it could have. It's like if I remember right too, it's a mixed sweeper essentially.
And then you could add a bunch of regionals that are different flavors and given them a different type instead of normal.
Yeah, all creamy before all creamy.
Yeah. Oh man, Thatch, why'd you come up with a good idea?
Yeah.
They need to hire me.
Though. Oh, yeah. Have two daughters, they're 11 and 4, so ice cream is always a good motivator to get them to do something like, I don't know, clean the rooms? Who am I kidding? I'll be a Mr.
It's also a good motivator for Thatch to clean his room.
I'll be a Mr. Rhyme by the time that happens. Thanks,
Nice.
Rich.
I like it.
It's a good motivator to get Thatch to clean his room. It's fine.
I'll remember that for next time.
Yeah, you remember that. Be like, I'll buy you some ice. Actually, Thatch is lactose intolerant,
Oops.
so it doesn't work.
There's ice cream for that.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's fine. No, we're going to make you eat the ice cream.
There is
You'll
ice
have to
cream
do
for
it.
that.
If you don't clean the room, we're feeding you ice cream.
You ice cream. Yeah, it's a good motivator. That's a good motivator.
One way or another.
Yeah, I just like to not feel like crap, so I just don't eat the ice cream. That like I it's not too bad if you get like good ice cream, but if you get like Dairy Queen, then it's just like, yeah, the lactose intolerance is just like, yeah, no thank you. But if it's good like handmade ice cream or something, it's probably fine. I can do that. But yeah. All right. Well, thank you for those emails. If you want to email us next week at the show, you can email us at puclpodcast@gmail.com and let us know what you thought of the trailer / Pokemon Presents, and tell us why we missed the Cafe Remix news and why that excites you the most. Please send that in to us at puclpodcast@gmail.com. You can, of course, follow us throughout the week, mostly over at pucklediscord.com, where you can hang out with us, chat with the hosts, and just really honestly get to know us a little bit more and talk more Pokemon throughout the week. You can, of course, go ahead and follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, where we post things occasionally. You can follow us at YouTube, youtube.com/PokePodcast. Twitch, if you want to watch Thatch stream Pokemon games, whether that be competitive TCG. Sometimes we're doing video game. I played Unite, and I've kind of been in Unite mood right now, so I think it's kind of what we're going to be doing. But I usually stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, this week there is an exception. I will be out of town Monday through Wednesday this week, so I will unfortunately not be able to stream on Tuesday. But we will stream on Thursday and Friday because I will have nothing better to do. Well, maybe not Friday. I will stream 2 days, either Thursday, Friday, or Thursday, Saturday. It depends on what my schedule turns out to be, mostly because somebody offered to play Power Rangers board games with me. And if you want to support the show, you can, of course, as always, go over to our Patreon at patreon.com/PokePodcast, get some shiny Pokemon, and get access to a few other perks. On that note, though, I have been Trainer Thatch.
I've been Shamu.
I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.